Let's use this data I have here so that we can be able to understand how the custom dates work. You can see I have date here. I have this date. Let me just put this date in this cell. I go to the formula bar. Let me just type equals to. Then I select this cell that contains the date. Then press enter. You see it returns the same date because it is what I have here that it is showing here. Notice that this cell has been formatted as a date. This is the default date that Excel has already defined for us. Okay, now there's some other inbuilt format that Excel has already defined for us. If you don't want to display this date like this, maybe you want to use another format. If you want to format this date to have a different format, all you need to do is to click on this icon here, number format. You click on it, it will show you the format dialog. Now you can be able to select the type of format you want this date to display. For example, let's say I want it to display in this format. I can just select it from here and click OK. And this is it. We have a Sunday, August 11, 2024. It is even pulling out the day of the week. You can see it is Sunday, August 11, 2024. Remember that this format I have here is for visual presentation of this date. It does not change the underlying serial number of this date. That's what you should bear in mind. The formatting you have here does not change the underlying serial number of the date. Let me change this cell that contains this date to a general format so that you will see the serial number. I select this cell. Let me change it to a general format. You see, it is not displaying the serial number, but it is still showing the format I have here, Sunday, August 11, 24. That is to tell you that the format you want to view the date in does not change the underlying serial number. The serial number remains the same. This is just like the visual aspect of this date. You want it to display the way you want, okay? If I want it to display in different format, I can also select from here, let's say long date, which is exactly what it is already displaying here. If I want it to change it to different format, I can go to the number format here, then select any other format I want. For example, let's say I want it to display and show time as well, like this one. I select it. You can see it is now displaying the date and also showing the time. But it does not change the serial number. The serial number remains the same thing. You can select from the different inbuilt format that Excel has already defined for you. You can also go to the custom. You can see different custom format here. Okay, let's for example, I want the date to display in this format I have here. I select this format and click OK. You can see it is now displaying in that format. You can also define your own custom format. Let's say that the format you want your date to display is not in the built-in format. You can define it. I select this date. Let me open the format dialog. From this text feed here, you can define your own format. For example, if I want to show only the year, I can type only 4 here, okay, because I want to show only the year, even though it is already defined as inbuilt. If I click OK now, you see it is only showing me the year. Let me modify it once again. Let me click here. I separate the year with space. Remember, you can use any delimiter you want, okay? So I separate it with space. Now I want to show the month. I type. You can also see the preview of what you are going to get here. You can also see the preview here. If I press OK now, you can see it is now showing me the year and the month as a number. If I want the month to be a text, let me modify it. Add another M. When I add triple M, you can see the abbreviation of the month. If I enter another M, you will see the full name of the month. If I click OK now, you can see 2024 August, okay? Any part of the date that you want to pull out, you can use the format to pull it out. So let's modify it once again. I go to the dialog. Let's say I want the day as a number. I type double D. You can see it. Let me press enter now. You can see now it is now showing 2024 August 11. Let's modify it once again. You can separate this custom field with any delimiter. If I want to separate the month with comma, I can just add comma and click OK. You can see the comma is now added. Let's modify it once again. I can also display the time. For example, if I just type H and press enter, because we did not include time in this date serial number, that's why it is now showing 0, which is AM. That is 0 AM. Let's modify this our date now. Let me change it back to date format. Let me use the short date. Let's add time to this date. Let me type 8/11/2024. Then let me include time. Let's say 10 p.m. Now that I included the time, you can see the time is 10 p.m. and that is exactly what it represented by 22 here. If I just want to show the 10 p.m., I can modify the format. Go back like this. So let me modify the format. Let me add AM/PM, AM/PM. I just add AM/PM. Let me click OK now. Do you see now it is put 10 p.m. because we did not separate it with space. You can see 10 p.m. there. That is to tell you that anyhow you want your date and time to be displayed, you can format it the way you want. So that is by using the custom dialog here to do the customization. Remember that this course is all about functions and formula, okay? Let me show you how to use the built-in function to perform the same action we are doing with the dialog box, okay? We are going to use the text function. I select this cell, I go to the formula bar, let me type equals to text. What the text function does is that it is going to convert a value, that is a number, to a text. That is what the text function is doing. But it also allows you to define the way you want your text to be displayed. The value we are going to enter here, it is this date, okay? I select this cell that contains the date, okay? Remember, behind the scene, this date is represented with a number. Then separate it with comma. How do I want it to be displayed? The format text argument is a string that represents how you want your value to be displayed. For example, if I want to only show the year, all I need to do, I open quotation mark and type YYY, that is 4Y. And this 4Y represents that I want to show the year. And let me close the function and press enter now. Do you see it returned the year? 2024. So it is pulling out the year from this date string using the define format. If I want to include the month, let me modify the function. Let me separate the year with the space. I add the space. Now let me include the month. If I want to show the abbreviation of the month, I will type MMM, that is triple M. Let me press enter now. This is return 2024 August. Let's modify it once again. If I want to show the day, let me separate the month with space. If I enter DD and press enter, you see it is now showing that is 11th August 2024. If I want to show the time part as AM or PM, I can just type AM/PM. I did not add any space, okay? Let me press enter. Do you see it return the same thing? Okay, that is 10 p.m. Anyhow you want your time and date to be displayed, you can actually use the text function to define it, okay? With this example, let me show you another one we're going to practice with. I have this table here. I have the date. This is the format I want it to display, and we are going to show the result here. Okay, so I have already defined the format. I'm going to use the text function to display the date in the format I have already defined in this column. So I select this cell, I go to the formula bar, I type equals to text. And the value we are going to pass is the date value, this one. Separate it with comma. I have already defined the format I want, so the format text argument is going to be the cell that contains the format. That is our custom format. Close the text function and press enter. Do you see now it displays the date in the format we define here? You can see Sunday 11 August 2024. So if I want, I can use autofill to get the rest like this. You can see they are now showing in the format we define in the custom format cell here. You can see the last one is the month/the year, and it is now showing August/2024. For the last one here, define your own custom format and also display it here. Let me show you the formula. I select this cell, I go to the formula bar, I type equals to formula text. Let me select the cell that contains our formula, close the function and press enter. Now you can see the formula here. Let me use the autofill to get the orders like this, and this is it.